and welcome to Talking Schmidt. I'm your host, Eric Schmidt.
Hello, I am Greg Burmeister.
Good to see you. It's Greg's birthday episode. This is very exciting. Happy birthday, Greg.
Many thanks.
Yes. What have you been doing lately to celebrate your birth?
A lot of really fun things this year.
Yeah?
You know, I didn't think I would do much once I was in my 40s.
Sure,
You
yeah.
know, when I think of birthday parties, I think roller skating and bowling as a kid.
Yeah.
But I've had a very fun week.
Well, that's great. What'd you do?
I went to the post office to get my passport.
Oh, you got it?
It's
Or you will
it's
have
all,
it?
Yeah, it's everything I need to do is done.
Very exciting.
Now I just got to wait for it. So that was a lot of fun. I really enjoy long lines at the post office.
Can't beat it.
Yeah, angry people screaming at you.
Yeah, you're adulting is what that's called.
Yes,
That's fun.
Very fun.
Okay, so you went to the post office. What else did you do?
And then I also, like 2 days later, I went to the DMV to
Oh my gosh.
renew my driver's license.
Wow.
How'd
that go?
Oh, that was even more fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Longer lines, angrier people.
Yeah, way more angry people.
Were you able to like set up an appointment, or did you? Okay, you were.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Did that help, or
No, not at all.
it was still the same?
Yeah.
It might as well have not have done that.
Exactly.
Okay.
I got there. I checked in for my appointment.
Yeah.
And they told me to stand there and wait for my number to be called. So apparently the 1,000 other people there also had appointments.
What's
at
the point of the
same time.
appointments?
I have no idea.
They should just get off that plane and just be like, all right, just come and we'll give you a number.
Yeah.
You know, like Beetlejuice style.
Yeah, like first come, first serve. Just don't say it 3 times.
Yeah.
But yeah, that place is so funny. They have a lot.
It was the 34th Street one, right? Or around there,
31st Street.
Yeah.
Yep, kind of by Penn Station.
Mm-hmm. Which also just a great part of town.
Oh, I love it. A lot of good people.
Yeah, oh my
over
God.
there. And their system is so whack. They have people screaming out numbers like LI476. And
well, their numbers have some letters in them. I know there's some mistake there. Those aren't even numbers.
No, it's like some code, I guess.
That gives you an idea of how many people are waiting there, that they ran out of numbers. They had to start including letters in their numbers.
And they're like 20 digits long.
Oh, no.
And there's like an intercom with someone yelling out a number, and then 3 other employees yelling different numbers. And it was just it was a great birthday week.
Well, hopefully it gets better, Greg.
Yes, thank you.
How
are you?
Yeah. So I went to a fun show last night. Friend of the podcast, Kevin McCaffrey, was on a stand-up show. I just texted him because he was like, I might be down to hang out tonight or tomorrow or whatever. And so I texted him like, well, what are you up to? And he was like, well, I'm on this show and it's kind of an interesting one. It's a stand-up show, but also between each comic, there's pole dancers. You know, like you might see it like a strip joint or something like that.
Yes.
And I was like, what? I was like, yeah. He was like, I can put you on the list. You know, I'm like, yeah, let's do that. You know, that sounds interesting. So I went, and it's at this like really cool place. It's called Drom is the name of the location or the venue, and it's downtown. It's on like 6th and Avenue A. And dude, right when I got there, I noticed, I was like, I've been here before. Like, I think it's you know that building on that street that's like on the street level, you can see there's like a bar or restaurant, and then there's stairs that go, like you can see like open air stairs down.
Oh yeah, yep.
You know exactly that building, right?
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think the upstairs used to be a bar where I've definitely like drank a lot and did some coke in the bathroom.
Very shazzy.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, I recognize this place.
Buddy.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I don't think I'd ever been in the downstairs part, which is a separate like thing. It's not affiliated with the upstairs business. Yeah, so it's this giant venue inside, which I'm like, how is this below a restaurant? Like, I mean, it's like 2-floor ceilings somehow.
Weird.
Yeah, it doesn't make mathematical sense. But anyway, so they had this like 2-story pole for like pole dancing, and you know, and you know, you think like I've heard like men and women be like, you know, explain that pole dancing can be like an elevated art or whatever, and I'm just like, okay, creep, like, or you know, whatever, like
trying to justify that it's not.
All right. You like seeing ladies with not much clothes on. That's it. And then women who use it for exercise will say that too, and I'm just like, there's no way that's true. But dude, seeing what they did it was amazing.
Oh, like some Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah, that's what I would describe it, or that's how I would like compare it. Yeah, I was like, oh shit, I was an idiot. Like, I'm totally wrong about this. Like, this is actually quite interesting. And like, it's not, when you go to a strip club, the intention like of the pole dancing is that it's supposed to be like sexy.
Yeah.
And like, while this was like these are objectively like attractive women doing this, it's less, it's less like, ooh, you're just kind of like more in awe of it. Yeah. It was interesting.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not the same purpose. And like, that's why you call them pole dancers instead of strippers too. I don't know if some of them also strip, but they were just, they were wearing clothes. I mean, well, not like a lot of clothes, but they were wearing. They were covered.
They weren't actively taking clothes off.
No, they removed no clothes.
Yeah.
So it was. But anyway, it was, and also like that show has been going on for 12 years, and it's run by these great comics that are friends of Kevin, and like they have cultivated a following that is respectful of both. It was packed. It was, like 100 people in there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it's a really nice venue too. And, but like, the people, there might be some people that are mostly there to watch the dancers, but they're very respectful of the comics. And then there might be people there that are just for the comedy, but they're also like,
nice.
Yeah. Cause like you could see where, if you were in your first year doing a show like that, you might get some real creeps and weirdos who are not interested in the comedy at all.
Yes, or vice versa.
Yeah. Who are just kind of like ignoring or like, being inappropriate during the dancing, but like they encourage you to like clap if they do something really cool on the on the poles. And I didn't realize like how hygienic you have to be if you're doing it like for real, like they had someone come out and like go all the way to the top and like clean.
It's like a fire station pole.
Yeah, clean it each time, and it was really interesting. And like while the host is like kind of like talking in between performers, but yeah, it was quite interesting. And I'm totally blanking on the name of the show. But you should go see it. I'll promote it somewhere. But anyway, yeah, so that was fun last night. I know I mentioned I was going to play poker last week. I lost.
Bummer.
Yeah, I lost $20. Ooh. But no, they didn't play until someone won everything.
Yeah, so, that's how we used to play.
Yeah,
too.
That's a better way to do it.
Yeah.
And so everyone just I think me and Casey McGowan ended up getting like knocked out. So everyone was just kind of splitting like our money, but like we played for hours. So it's like, was this worth it to anyone?
Everyone made like $3.
Right. My phone tag.
Franco.
My Franco phone tag is entering week 3.
Yes, I'm all in on
I've
this.
tried to call him. He's tried to call me. It hasn't worked out. We continue to text. Again, I don't know if there's something he was initially calling me about 3 weeks ago.
I really hope it breaks the month point. When this hits 4 weeks, I'm going to be very excited.
Yeah, me too. Where were you for the snowstorm the other day?
Just hunkered down. Yeah.
So we had dinner plans with a couple other couples. We were going to go to this hibachi restaurant up in like upstate for some reason. That was so one of our friends really likes hibachi restaurants, and like I enjoyed them as a child, and like they're fun to occasionally go to.
Yeah, I haven't been to one of those in years.
Yeah, I'm not like an enthusiast or anything, but I'll go. I don't want to be someone who doesn't go to things that other people like. So try to be a good friend. So we were going to go to this place upstate. And then the forecast came in and we were like, I don't know if we had like we don't have a car, but our friends do, so we were gonna one couple was gonna drive in their car and then we were gonna ride it in
it's nice to have friends with cars.
Oh, great
so
to have.
Yeah, you don't have to deal with any of the tires, gas, insurance. Just let them deal with all that.
Yeah. So we one couple was like, we're not gonna drive. This looks like it's going to be too bad.
Yeah, that's like some Minnesota driving.
Yeah. So then, we're going up with the other couple, and like I feel like the whole time we were all individually like, I hope someone else suggests we not do this, but no one did. We were all just like, well, I guess we're doing that. Yeah, I guess we're driving in this insane snowstorm. So we're driving, and then we're like, this is too dangerous.
Yeah, visibility is very low.
Let's. So then we were just like, all right, let's look up a closer hibachi place. We were already like kind of upstate, So we're like, let's look up a closer one. And so we did, and there was one called Mount Fuji. And we were like, all right, yeah, that's like 5 minutes away. Let's get off the highway and just go to there. And like, I think the snowstorm will be over by the time we're done with dinner.
Yeah.
So we go there, and they're like, also, first of all, it's on its own mountain, this restaurant.
Oh,
yeah.
So it's the Mount Fuji is not.
They weren't fucking around.
Yeah.
They weren't fucking around with that name.
Partially true.
Yeah. And it's the fanciest hibachi place I've ever seen.
Whoa.
They had like a koi pond outside. It actually looked like, the scene in Kill Bill where they like, are killing each other in that back area where it's snowing.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
Wow.
Like it was super nice. Like it was just, and I know it sounds crazy. You're probably like, all right, hibachi places can only be a certain level of nice. And then it's like, that's it. There's a cap on how nice they can be.
Yes.
This place was like legit fancy as shit, fucking nice.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. Yeah. So we get there and we're like, yes, 4 please. And they're like, no. Like, we're trying to close because it's getting dangerous outside. And we're like, yes,
that's fair.
Yes. So we're like, all right, fair enough. So then we just like drove down the mountain into this like little town called Suffern, New York, and we just were like, all right, there's an Italian place. Let's just go here.
Just anywhere that has food. At this point.
And isn't like trying to actively close the restaurant. And they let us in, and it was a great dinner. And there were some EMTs having dinner next to us, and they got called out while they were having dinner. They left real quick to help whatever was going on, and then they came back and finished eating.
Oh, good to have them there in case you choke on.
Yeah, right, exactly. I mean, I think it was a snow-related thing they were responding to. I think someone like got stuck or some shit. But anyway, so yeah, driving in the snow, it was fun, and we arrived safe both places.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw, Greg, that guy, Donald Trump was inaugurated president again of the United States.
Yep, Home Alone 2 guy.
Home Alone 2 guy. And I didn't. Did you watch? I didn't watch.
No.
I saw a clip though later on of Elon Musk. He owns X, the website that most people know as Twitter. He also makes those trucks that look kind of funny.
Yeah. They look like some science fiction.
That would have definitely gotten stuck in the snow, by the way. But anyway, so he did this funny thing. Well, it's not really funny. I don't know why I said funny. It's not funny. He did a Nazi salute. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
What's your take? You think it was a Nazi salute?
I don't know. Like now they're saying it was a Roman salute, which.
But isn't that what?
Also, is where.
Yeah, that's where the Nazis
Hitler
got it, right?
Yeah. It was. Yeah.
Wait, he's saying that?
I don't know if he personally said it, but that's what a lot of people are.
Like his people are saying?
Yeah. And which was a thing that Mussolini did.
Another person I don't think you want to be.
Still not.
Maybe do a different gesture.
Yeah.
If you're honestly trying to say my heart, like there's videos of him doing it correctly, like my heart.
Okay.
Like that's how you do it.
Yeah. But I don't know if he was trying to say like I'm a Nazi. Like
sure.
I think he's just a weird man.
Yeah. I mean, you had the people kind of like some person who knows him or is a friend of his. This woman on Twitter was like. It's not a Nazi salute. He's not a Nazi. He's just like autistic.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, well, apparently he's never been diagnosed. Which like he is a billionaire and can definitely afford to go to a doctor.
And if you just watch the guy talk for like a minute, you can tell he's on the spectrum
a little bit. Yeah. He's also like. I was reading, and I'm not like an expert on this, but like Asperger's, like, is that a real thing or is that just something we all kind of made up? Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Funny name.
Yeah. Man, give it any other name. But anyway, so the whole like, maybe, so now we're all like, well, is he a Nazi or is he just like, mentally disabled? And that's the thought I've had about so many of my friends and family who voted for Trump too. So like, I understand where this woman is coming from, where she's like, listen, not a Nazi, just a little, a little off. It was cold at the inauguration. I don't know if you saw that. It was cold here too.
Yes.
And, you know, and Trump's like an alpha male, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and Elon too. They're just real manly men, right?
Yeah.
And so what they do? They had it inside. Like, what? I mean, I get it. Like, Trump's real old, and like, you know, the last guy who had it out in real cold weather died. So you know, I understand where he's coming from there. I don't understand. Like, people are, you know, you got these. I don't know if you've seen them on the TV, Greg. You got these like liberals. Have you heard of this?
Oh, I've heard of them. Yeah.
So they're real worried, right? They're like they're kind of upset about things.
Are they the same as the snowflake people?
Man, that's a good question. I don't know. I'm gonna have to research that. But anyway, so they're like, you know, some people are worried. They're like, well, I don't know about all this. And I looked into it, Greg, and I'm not a history guy. I don't know. Maybe you are, but
Yeah, a little bit.
okay. Well, the last two Republican presidents, right? You had Trump and George W. Bush, right?
Yeah.
So both of their presidencies, when they ended in mass death and economic ruin. Did you know this?
Oh,
have you heard about
very
this?
good.
Yeah, like there was, because you had like the Iraq
2008.
Yeah, you had like the Iraq War.
Yeah,
you know, I think a million people died, including many of our troops.
Yeah.
And then also, you know, you had the financial crisis of 2008.
Yep.
And then, you know, in 2020, I don't know if you remember this, there was the coronavirus. Now, obviously, you can't blame that entirely on Trump. I don't think, I'm not a conspiracy theorist who thinks Trump made it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even know if that's a conspiracy that exists. I've
sure
accidentally started one.
Oh, no.
But anyway, so yeah. Now, obviously, I'm not saying Trump started the pandemic, but I will say that I think his like response to it resulted in more deaths than there should have been.
Yeah,
and I think that's a fair thing to say. I don't think you know, you'd have to be pretty like sucking Trump's dick to claim that that's false.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I understand, I guess, the after I did a little research, I'm like, all right, I understand the concern here.
Yes.
I see why people might be a little worried. And then, yeah, the Nazi thing, man, it's just, you know, and I don't know if Trump's a Nazi, right? And also, like, when I say the word Nazi, I don't mean like literal 1930.
Like actual Germans.
Yeah, like these
soldier.
guys. Although Trump, is that German? It sounds kind of German.
It does. Yeah, I don't know what.
But I don't think he's like trying to kill Jewish people.
No,
he has a ton in his family. That would be. I mean, he might be anti-Semitic.
Get a little awkward.
Yeah. All right, listen, you guys got to go. But yeah, I mean, he might be anti-Semitic in like a, you know, he thinks less of Jewish people, but like I don't think he's trying to kill.
No.
I don't think he's trying to round up and kill Jewish people. So when I say Nazi, you know, I don't necessarily mean literal Nazis. Certainly fascistic, I would argue Trump is. And then, but also Nazis, real ones, really like him.
Yeah, that's
and they
that's
seem
true.
to think that the Elon thing was that.
Yeah,
They
they want it to be true.
Sure. Yeah. So troubling. Either way. And then I don't know if you saw, he pardoned. Trump did. He pardoned a lot of the guys who did January 6th.
Yeah, I did read about that.
I saw an interesting clip. You know, you'd think that everyone who likes Trump would be kind of lockstep with him on this. But I saw an interesting clip. Sean Hannity, of all people, pushed back a little bit and was like, why'd you release the ones that were like objectively violent? Like, because I mean, some of them killed a cop, right? A cop died, right? Yeah.
Yep.
He's like, why did you release all of them? Why did like, and I guess his argument was like, well, you know, it's tough to know who was the violent ones and who was the non-violent ones. It's like, it's not actually, they know. Like you could probably just Google search that. It would take almost no effort to figure out which ones.
There's a lot of video footage.
Right. And like, yeah, sure. Like you could argue, I could see the argument of like, you know, there were people who went into the Capitol who, you know, didn't really understand what they were doing. And like, while that's maybe not a great defense, I think it's fair.
Yeah.
I don't like, I'm not trying to say that everyone who did it should be in prison still right now. Like, I mean, this is, you know, that's kind of crazy. Yeah. Like, but you know, if they have video of you going in, maybe some sort of punishment should have been levied. I don't know about prison time.
Like a fine or something.
Sure. Yeah. Like, trespassing, something like that. Something like that. But yeah, I mean, the people who like damaged property and people, I'm like, all right, yeah, you should probably be in prison. Like, I don't care if you like Trump told you to do it or not. Like at a certain point, you know,
did it.
Yeah, at a certain point, you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
you know. So, and then obviously, yeah, if there's like emails or texts or communications where they were they admit in them to trying to overthrow or whatever, then I think you got to be in prison for a longer time. So but yeah, he released all of them. Which reminds me of that scene in Ghostbusters. You know the scene where the EPA guy lets all the ghosts out?
Yeah.
And they terrorize everybody again? That's what I feel like is happening with these fucking guys.
Great movie. Ghostbusters, 1984.
Wonderful film. And then, so I guess one of the guys he pardoned was a guy who was sentenced to go to prison, and instead of going to prison, he killed himself, which you think, that's one way to not go to prison, I guess. When you think to yourself, well, that's a happy ending, but apparently he pardoned that guy too, which is kind of weird. Why are you pardoning fucking dead people?
Posthumous. Posthumous
pardon. So I don't know, man. And then you got the trans thing. I don't know if you saw, he accidentally made everyone trans, or he made half of it. He made you and me trans. We're supposed to go by what gender we were at conception, and then and again, I'm no scientist, but some scientists looked into that and they're like, well, actually, everyone's female at the time of their conception. So. You and I are girls.
Fun
this is a woman podcast now.
Yeah,
so
there we go.
So we're woke. Come on. I got suspended from Twitter.
Oh, that's always fun.
Raged a little too hard against the machine,
as they say.
There was this. Do you know who Catturd is?
No.
Okay, so there's this guy named Catturd. He's on Twitter, or I guess maybe his account got taken because he goes by Catturd 2 now, and I don't know much about him other than he seems like not good. Mm-hmm. So I guess he had some sort of bowel blockage and was hospitalized from
Oh no.
Yeah, and so someone else, some Trump guy was like, let's pray for Catturd. This is where we are, Greg.
Apparently he had
2025.
Catturd had a human turd that got blocked up.
Somebody else tweeted
times are tough.
Somebody else tweeted can't turd, which hey,
there you go.
Nailed it.
Got him.
But anyway, they were like, let's pray for Catturd, and I just replied, I pray he dies, and also did the pray emoji. And that gets you an auto suspension apparently, which and then their explanation is like, you violated the rules against inciting violence, and I'm like, I don't know how praying for someone to die is inciting violence.
Hoping for something isn't an actionable thing.
No, and also me getting suspended by the company that the guy who did the Nazi salute is fucking rich. Like, what? Talk about inciting violence. Jesus Christ.
These social media platforms, I tell you.
Yeah, I mean, and I've definitely tweeted way worse things than I pray that guy die. I pray Catturd dies, which sounds ridiculous to say. But, I couldn't. So I'm serving a 7-day suspension for it, which is, whatever.
You might enjoy these 7 days.
Well, it's tough. I'm still allowed on, but I can't, tweet. I can't like anyone else's tweet, which sucks because, there's so many tweets I want to like. Everyone's doing a lot of great work on there right now. Yeah. And again, so people, we talked about it a little bit last time. People are very, torn, or there's a lot of really strong opinions about whether we should be on these social media sites anymore. And, it's like, well, how else are we going to voice our opinions? I understand he owns the company, but try and find a space that isn't controlled by someone who's terrible. They
all are.
This is kind of what we're limited to here, man. So I mean, I'm trying. I use Blue Sky as well, which is it's great. It does remind me of Twitter before 2015. It's a cool space. But still Twitter is a spot where you can go to see funny things or news if you can check that it's reliable enough. It takes a little more work now. Used to be you could just rely on things with a blue check mark.
True,
now it's wait, what the fuck is this? Catturd has a blue check mark.
Anyone can just pay for a
right. So anyway, pray for me, I guess, in my suspension. I talked to my therapist about this. I unfriended and unfollowed a few people that are friends. I'm right now. I'm like, all right, if you're a family member of mine and you voted for Trump, I'll keep you.
You get a pass.
Yeah, you get a pass. And I know some people are probably like, that's really bad. You shouldn't even do that. But like, I understand. I know. But like, there's just also friends I haven't talked to in a long time.
Yeah,
anyway.
I do that pretty regularly.
Yeah, there was one guy that I unfriended just because he wrote, and it had nothing to. Trump wasn't even in the thing. He just was like, "Wow, Carrie Underwood did great," and I'm like, I can't have that kind of idiot. I can't have that idiot.
It doesn't always need to be political.
I can't have anyone who would say that.
Yeah, I don't like people who don't like good music.
Also, like, I've unfriended people for just being boring. Like,
yeah, me too.
Like, I went and did this weekend. It's like, not fun enough. You got to go.
I have all these. I keep seeing. Well, not so much anymore because I keep unfriending people. But it's always girls I went to high school with who these days they're like a stay-at-home mom and they're trying to do some kind of multi-level marketing scheme, some kind of pyramid scheme, and they just keep and they'll like tag all their friends in it and be like, make sure you use my 20% discount, and I'm just like, what? No,
look at what economy we're in, man. It's crazy. And then the people like that get sick, and then they have to have a GoFundMe because we don't have any fucking structure to take care of these fucking assholes. It's terrible. It's just terrible. But yeah, anyway, so I was talking to my therapist about it, and she was like, supportive of that, because she was like, well, yeah, it's like you're kind of setting boundaries. You're like you're drawing in a little more, which might be good, like more manageable. Keep like, so I think I'm gonna try and get down to where I just have like one Republican friend, because that's easy.
I was gonna say one friend.
Greg? Yeah.
Yes.
I hope you'll be my friend.
Thank you.
No, I'll try to get down to where I just have one Trump supporting friend.
That's the token Trumper.
Yeah, that's really easy to manage. So I think I'm gonna try and do that. Find out next time if you're the friend. But yeah, so it just feels more manageable, and like also, yeah, I probably should have cut a lot of these people out a long time ago. So anyway, that's what I talked to my therapist about. I didn't have to say the therapist part. Like I could have just said this. For some reason, I decided to let people know what's going on there. We received an email, Greg.
Oh, yes.
We receive them often.
Yeah.
From mostly, again, high school students and former presidents.
Yeah, bullies and presidents.
Mm-hmm. Well, which are bullies in their own.
Yeah.
But anyway, we received an email from Gary Frederick, who had no subject line. It just said no subject in the subject line. He just wrote hello. And sent
with a little emoji.
A wave emoji.
Yeah.
So, hello, Gary.
Hello, Gary. Thank you. I couldn't tell if he hit the send button prematurely and wanted to say something else, but maybe he just wanted to say hello.
Just wanted to say hello, which we're excited to hear from you, Gary. Feel free to reach out again. Greg, you're going to a museum, right? Did we talk about that last time?
Oh, yeah. I don't think so. On Monday, I am going to a place called Spyscape.
Very good.
Which it was built by like NSA, CIA, MI6 people, and you get to test your spy skills. And they do like a full evaluation and tell you what you would be good at. Yeah. Like if you'd be a good analyst or like a cybersecurity person or a cryptologist to break some codes.
I thought you meant like someone who goes into crypts, like from the Crypt Keeper, that kind of thing. Yeah, more of like a goth
grave digger.
Yeah. When you dig my grave, would you make it shallow? Dave Matthews Band, by the way, who does that song.
Friend of the pod.
So I haven't been to the museum. I have been to the gift shop, and I got a book, like a survival book written by like, I don't know if it was a CIA guy or FBI guy, but it was probably not an FBI guy. I feel like they're not really survivalists. They're just, but anyway, definitely, I think it was CIA. But yeah, it was a really cool book about just like, how to kind of be personally aware of any threat that might be coming. Nice. Some people might read that book and get real paranoid. But I would he doesn't have a smartphone. Like the guy who wrote the book, he's like, I would never have a smartphone. It's too distracting. You got to be alert at all times. It's like, all right, that's taking a little too far, buddy. Yeah. No headphones ever. Like someone could sneak up. But anyway, it was a good book anyway. Because you can always, people don't realize this. You can read a book and just take some things from it.
Yeah, you don't have to agree with or look.
Oh yeah, you could read a book you don't agree with at all.
Yeah,
and just be like, wow, this. I don't agree with any of this.
Still find it interesting.
Yeah. But you can just be like, all right, I agree with this part. I agree with that part. Or I'm going to adopt some of these things into my life and not those things. It's sort of like Christians in the Bible.
Yeah.
Like they pick and choose.
Yeah.
So that's what I did with that book. Greg, I heard you've been having trouble walking lately.
Yeah, it's this.
But nothing physical about you.
No,
you're okay. You're tip top.
Yeah, I feel great.
Yeah. That popcorn diet's really working out for you, too.
It is. Highly recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just these icy sidewalks. I haven't fallen over yet, but
you've done some like comical like what?
Yeah, exactly, like stepping on banana peel type scenarios.
I stepped on a banana peel the other day.
Oh no!
Because I was on my phone. Yeah, just like that CIA guy tried to. He didn't tell me there were going to be banana peels.
Come on.
But yeah, but the ice thing is troubling.
Yeah, it's more difficult to get places when you have to carefully watch each step.
You know what sucks, Greg, is shoes that are good for walking on ice are always hideous. There's never, they've not invented like a good looking shoe for walking on ice.
Yeah, I have some sneaker boots, which are like waterproof boots, but they look like sneakers. They've got the air pocket thing on them. But yeah.
Or if you get into like a basketball game.
Yeah, if you want to like play basketball on the ice.
Damn, dude, that's a pretty cool sport.
Yeah, but they're not the most aesthetically pleasing shoe.
Yeah.
Or boot.
Yeah. Well, if you're an inventor, or if you own a shoe company that has fashionable shoes that are good for ice, please let us know. We'll buy some and even promote them right here on our podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another thing I did this week, Greg, which I failed to mention earlier when we were recapping this podcast has basically become Greg and Eric recap what they did this week and what happened in the news.
In case anyone cares what restaurant we went to. Very, very excited.
It's Greg and Eric's Restaurant of the Week.
Only applicable if you live in New York City.
So we basically recap what we did that week and what happened in the news that week. It's not a bad podcast, if I'm being honest with you. Not a bad format. So I recorded voiceover for a camera company.
Oh.
I'm not going to say who it was because I'm probably not supposed to. And also, they kind of suck. Like, I mean, the camera I'm sure is fine, but like they... I hope they don't hear this, but they're like, sorry, we can, they come in like way under my usual, rate for this kind of work.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, sorry, we can only do that. But like, if you Google their company, they can definitely do more than that. I'm just like, all right, whatever, man. Like, this is fine. But they also send scripts that are the longest thing you've ever seen. I'm just like, dude, like, this is 8 times longer than what I charge double to do. Like, what?
Very unfair.
Yeah, and like I made the mistake. Well, this doesn't reflect well on me, but I made the mistake of like just not reading the script before being like, yeah, it's fine. And then I open the script and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, Jesus. Also, who is this for? What kind of ad is this? Who's watching a 3-minute ad?
Yeah,
like,
that sounds awful.
Yeah, it's definitely what it is. It's probably just for like industry people. It's like for people who would be buying cameras who are like cinematographers.
Yeah, so it's more in depth.
Yeah. And then also here's a mistake. Like if you're a script writer for voiceover, heed my advice here. So they sent me a script, and instead of kilograms, the word kilograms, it just had kg.
Oh yeah.
And so like I know that means kilograms, but you get the copy and you read it as it's written.
Yeah, it's like a cue card. You're supposed to write it phonetically.
Right.
Yeah.
So I read it kg, and then they were like, so I sent them all the audio files for that, and they're like, oh wait, we need you to say kilogram. And I'm like,
well, you should have written kilogram.
You guys are bad script writers.
Yeah, exactly.
Like what the fuck? And there were just a few other like it was such like I mean, I'm pretty knowledgeable about general things, but like this was very like a lot of jargon, a lot of like industry jargon for cameras, which like I'm not super.
Yeah,
so like, also this word is
scrims.
Yeah, that was another thing. They had like M. It was like M, capital M, lowercase I, lowercase h, and is like a thing. So I was supposed to know what
unit of measurement.
Yeah, I'm like, what the you can't get mad at me. Also, like. When they sent me the script to do again, it had a bunch of words just completely different words than before. So I'm like, did you have it wrong before?
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
like, so just troubling.
Unprofessional.
Yeah. And they're acting like I'm unprofessional for being like, you should pay me more. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to have me do like an 8-minute monologue several times.
Yeah, that's
so anyway,
ridiculous.
if you're a script writer, please, that's just very niche advice. Football predictions. I know this will come out after those games, but
I guess I just want the Bills to win. Mm-hmm. Never been a big fan of the other 3 teams.
Okay. Yeah. What's crazy is we should acknowledge John Policino came on and did the intro to the season. We did a preseason predictions, and John Policino, now the only one with the team he said would be there. Although I may have also said Philadelphia. I can't remember if I may. Oh no, I did. I said Philadelphia versus Miami, which boy was I wrong.
Whoops.
Boy was I wrong about Miami. Not my fault though. That quarterback keeps getting injured.
Yeah, the concussion boy.
That's what you come for. Astute sports commentary, concussion boy. But yeah, so I'd like to see. I would prefer the Eagles and the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I just don't think the Chiefs need another one.
No, they certainly don't need another one. No. Also, the team wins so much, you start rooting against that damn team.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wouldn't be upset if Washington ended up in the game too. But either way, if Kansas City ends up in it, I'd root for anyone.
Yeah,
I'm going to root for whoever the other team is.
Same. I would be all in on Washington if they were still called the football team.
Yeah, me too.
That was my favorite team name.
I was really worried you're going to say the other one, and I was like, oh, here we go, Greg. We're getting canceled now. But yeah, no, Washington football team. That's the best name I've ever heard in my life. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I would too. So switch back and you'll get...
And then you'll get 2 more fans.
Yeah. Speaking of things like that, politically correct things, I was hosting trivia the other night. How much time?
We're at about 37 minutes.
Holy shit! Wow. Okay. All right. Well, we're to the promo of our gigs coming up. So I was hosting trivia the other night, and I did a category called it was great opening lines, or like the top opening lines in hip hop rap songs. Hip hop rap songs. That's what white people call them.
Hip hop rap.
Yeah. So I did the whole category, and a woman who was playing trivia was like, "Where are the women?" And I was like, "Oh my god, I didn't like." Normally, when I put together the playlist for music trivia, I try to have varied genres of music, women, performers. I try to have a mix.
You got to make it diverse these days.
Sure. Well, I mean, I also like to have it diverse. Like when I'm making my own playlist, I like to have a diversity. But so I was like, oh my god, you're right. Like, and it was, I'm not trying to say it wasn't my fault, because like obviously I made the category, but like I just went to a website. I just typed in like top, and I copy pasted.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. And like I realized, but then of course, like my god, Missy Elliott has so many great fucking lines in her song. She's like
she's
fantastic.
The best. Yeah, I love Missy Elliott.
I'm like, why is Missy Elliott not included on this fucking list? So I was like, wow. I was like, good catch. And like, in my defense, I just kind of copied.
It's
and
the
pasted
internet's fault.
Yeah. It's not my fault. It's society. But yeah, Missy Elliott, for one. I mean, for God's sake. So anyway, try and be more diverse in your trivia if you're a trivia host. Which, by the way, I'm hosting every Monday at Barcelona Bar. Come by, 8:00. It's a lot of fun. Live Snakes tonight.
Yes.
Tonight, Greg.
9:00.
Tonight, come by, 9:00. The Gutter. It's Thursday. The
30th,
November 30th. Greg, I'm sorry, January. Oh, buddy, it's been a wild year, brother. Come by. Greg's playing music. I'm not hosting or on the show, so it's going to be good. Connor Cregan's hosting. Great lineup. Kat Zini's on the show. Should be a good time. $10 cash cover at the door. And no drink minimum. A lot of places do a drink minimum.
Yeah.
Not
Here
us.
you can,
you can drink as little or as much as you want.
Buy or not buy as much as you want.
I mean, our old show at Cantina Royale, boy, we should have had a drink maximum. That was things got out of hand a few times.
That place is wild.
Yeah. So Live Snakes, come on by. I'm hosting the February 27th one. That's the year anniversary one. That should be a hoot.
Yeah.
We'll promote that more in the coming month. Also, I may be doing some shows in Florida. I've been asked to do a couple shows in Florida.
Very nice.
Yeah, one of them's in my hometown in Lakeland, Florida.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah, I wish I hadn't unfriended and unfollowed so many people from there. But,
Whoops.
I'll add them back. Hey, come to the show. Never mind your terrible politics. Just come on. So anyway, thank you for listening. We'll wrap it up there. We've gone. But it was fun. It was good.
It was a good time.
We like to pat ourselves on the back at the end of an episode. Thank you for listening. See you next time. Talking Schmidt is recorded at Burmeister Studios in
Astoria, Queens.
Opening music is by Greg Burmeister. Closing music is by
Greg Burmeister.
Our intern is Jason Travis. If you like what you've heard, please like, follow, and write a review for us wherever you listen to podcasts. If you didn't like it, please keep listening to it, but keep your opinions to yourself. If you really liked it, you can find bonus episodes over on our Talking Schmidt Patreon page. Membership is just $5 per month, and it goes a long way to buy us the equipment and bourbon we need. Thanks in advance, and hope you're doing great.